We are proud to be a part of Calista's leadership team, helping our corporation move forward successfully to provide for shareholders and the people of our region.
Our corporation was created more than 40 years ago when the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act, known as ANCSA, was signed. ANCSA created regional corporations like Calista to receive money and manage land for shareholders.
Our shareholders play an important role in our business, electing directors and voting for important issues. Our current shareholders either enrolled during ANCSA or have inherited or have been gift shares.
Moving forward, it's time to consider whether we want to open enrollment to descendants. Before making this important decision, we must look at all of the facts.
Calista Corporation currently has about 12,900 shareholders. Of these, 9,200 are original shareholders, and the remaining 3,700 have been gifted or inherited shares. Currently, about 60% of our shareholders live in the region.
As our original shareholders get older, the age and location of our shareholders is shifting. About 70% of all people who live in the Calista region are now under the age of 40.
Calista shareholders are the owners of the corporation, and they have a number of important responsibilities. They vote on changes to how the corporation operates and board leadership. Since Calista was formed, a total of 9 dividends have been distributed to shareholders, totaling more than $24.6 million.
There are also a number of benefits that extend to spouses, descendants, and other people in the region. Calista exercises hiring preference for shareholders and descendants. The company provides paid internships for students. Scholarships are also available for students seeking higher education. In addition, the corporation advocates on important issues like subsistence rights, community improvement funding, and voting rights. And we donate to organizations in the region providing important social and other services.
Under ANCSA, shareholders can vote to enroll descendants, and it is something Calista and its shareholders have been considering for years. In 2011, a shareholder advisory resolution asked shareholders to vote whether Calista should recommend a process to create a new class of stock for descendants born after the ANCSA deadline. Of the votes cast, 86% voted in favor of this action. Following the 2011 advisory resolution vote, Calista surveyed shareholders to gather more information. Of the shareholders surveyed, 62% supported the idea of giving shares to all currently living and future descendants of Calista shareholders. 18% opposed the idea. 70% of shareholders surveyed thought these new shares should have dividends and voting rights. 13% did not.
In 2013, there was a more specific advisory resolution vote. This time, it asked whether the board of directors should bring before the shareholders a binding resolution to issue shares to eligible descendants and others who could have originally enrolled but did not. Of the votes cast, 72% voted in favor of this action.
All eligible Calista shareholders will vote on the resolution at the 2015 annual meeting of shareholders. The resolution will amend Calista's Articles of Incorporation to issue 100 shares to eligible descendants of original shareholders and to Alaska Natives who could have received original Calista stock but did not. In order to pass, a majority of all voting shares present or represented by proxy are needed. This means 50% of the voting shares present or represented by proxy plus 1 share must vote in favor of this amendment.
If passed, there will be changes in the corporation and shares. Current Class A shares are associated with a village in the Calista region. Current Class B shares, known as at-large shares, are not. New Class C shares will be issued to descendants of an original Calista shareholder if that descendant was born after December 18, 1971. New Class D shares will be issued to those Alaska Natives who could have received original Calista shares but did not.
If additional shareholders are added, the cost of administration will increase at Calista. More annual meeting materials and story knife copies would need to be printed and mailed. It will also take additional time and staff to administer and process dividends and maintain shareholder records.
There are a lot of facts to consider when forming an opinion, including how this will affect the corporation and current shareholders. If the resolution is adopted, estimates have shown the total number of shareholders could increase from 12,900 to between 38,000 and 43,000. There are currently 1.3 million shares. If the resolution passes, the number of shares could increase to between 3.8 million and 4.3 million.
Under ANCSA, Calista is required to improve the socio-economic condition of our shareholders, and since the majority of shareholders live in the region, that is currently where most of our focus is. Today, about 60% of shareholders live in the region, but that percentage will likely drop if descendants and others are enrolled. If a larger percentage of shareholders were to live outside the region, it could mean a shift away from in-region projects and investments.
Dividends have been issued to shareholders for nearly a decade, with more than 50% of total dividend dollars being issued over the last 3 years. In 2014, the dividend was more than $4.6 million, meaning for each 100 shares, a shareholder received $350.
With a larger shareholder enrollment, the amount of the dividend per share will decrease. Based on estimates, if the resolution were to pass, the average shareholder dividend would be reduced to approximately 1/3 of current averages.
Calista is working in advance to develop an implementation plan. Beginning October 2014, we will be informing shareholders about the Descendant Enrollment vote. The vote will take place during the 2015 annual meeting of shareholders.
If it passes, Calista will use the following 18 to 24 months to hire additional staff, develop an application process, issue applications, and expand our shareholder database to include new shareholders. The new Descendant Enrollment stock would be issued between January and June of 2017. After initial enrollment, applications will be processed as they are received.
There is a lot to consider, and we hope you find this video informative and helpful in making your decision. Please contact us if you have additional questions. Gayana Jaknak Birchi.